Hello everyone, this is R93 Sniper, back again with another tutorial actually. So, one thing I've learned from extracting Halo 4 models specifically is that control maps are weird. And to help you, I'm actually going to do a little control map tutorial on how to set up control maps in Max, as well as how to set up 2-point color change, which actually took quite a bit of experimentation for me to actually figure out. So without further ado, let's begin. Also, before I start, I also combined the tech suit for the Spartan, and I combined this so that they're one object, well, two objects, and I also changed the material ID so that's easy for the sake of this tutorial. So it's 1 through 9 from the tech suit, the decals, the lights, and then helmet, visor, torso, shoulder, arm, then legs. I also set up a second material, which is what we're going to be working with. So the first material, if you look at it, this is how it'll come extracted if you use a gen with the AMF format. You'll get composite texture maps, and it'll just have these control maps in here, which don't really do anything because you end up looking with this weird green thing. Also, let me set these to realistic materials, as I'm sure that works. But here's the whole thing. Control maps are kind of like Halo C's multi-purpose maps in the sense that each channel is a different bitmap. If I were to load up Photoshop, which I'll do right now, it's easier to show you because when you look at each individual channel, you'll notice, oh look, this is one thing, this is another, etc. So let me open up Halo 4 files. So, bitmaps, objects, characters, Storm Master Chief, bitmaps. For this tutorial, I'm going to load up the tech suit, which is down here. So here's a control map. Weird green, red, and purple in some places actually. But here's how multiplayer control maps work. The green channel is the diffuse, and as you can see, this is actually kind of what you wanted. First place for it to show. Red is the spec map, so this controls how much shine is in areas and whatnot. No, this is just how much shine, how reflective something is. Blue is gloss, so this tells what's supposed to be shinier or glossier than others. And then the alpha channel is actually the color change map, which is what we're going to be using in a very little bit. So now, with that, one thing you could do is what I've done before, which is take each of the maps and separate them. But the issue with that is, it's a lot of file size. It's a lot of space to be storing on your computer. And you don't really want to do that unless you want to do very specific details, such as like small cuts on very specific areas. But you can do that with decals anyways. So, there's an easier way to do it, which was actually told to me by a friend of mine, Master Noob. So, let me first assign these materials, maps. I took the initiative to set these up so that you have normal maps automatically showing. I set up all the normal maps, so that's cool. So, Halo 4 has very bad smoothing by default. Anyway, so let's start with the tech suit, which only has 1 point. That's called color change. The diffuse color, you want to set it as a composite map so that you can set up the color change later. Add a second channel and set this one to multiply. But for the bottom one, click here, and then instead of going to bitmap for the standard or normal bump or whatever, you actually want to go to color correction. Then go to the map, bitmap, and then find the bitmap you're looking for. In this case, it's the tech suit control. You go there, back up, look at it. It's still just this. Actually, let me delete this real quick. Render, Actually, why is it loading up like that? That's weird. Oh, that's right, alpha map. Whoops. Anyways, so let me set my render size to be a bit bigger. Alpha map is for some reason actually automatically doing this. So, anyways, what you want to do, go here, and since we said that the green channel is the diffuse, change red, blue, and alpha to green. So green, 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 and set this to none for now, I think. And that should. Oh, that also reminds me that for these bitmaps you need to do this because of alpha's weirdness. You set all of these to black, otherwise you end up with the weird discoloration that you were seeing before. There you go. See? I knew I was missing something. I'll leave the rest white for now, but whatever. Anyways, back to the text. Let me hide this Spartan armor. And let me change the background color, which I always forget to do. There you go, Spartan suit. Yay. But let's say we don't want to have. Well, first of all, let's set up the specular stuff. So again, color correction. Since the spec map, first bitmap, control. The spec map is the red channel. So instead of changing the red and blue and alpha to red, you set green and blue to and alpha to red. Give it a second. And look, it's shiny. Also, let me weld vertices because I should have done that before. Also, one thing you may notice is that there's this weird line going down the center. You can actually fix that pretty easy. Go to Customize, Preferences, and Gamma and LUT. What you want to do, what I've done actually, is set this to input gamma to 1, output gamma to 1, and regular gamma to 1.5. Gives this nice, actually clean look to it. General rule of thumb, the regular gamma should be higher than the input and output gamma, otherwise everything gets really dark. Anyways, now the glossiness, which is, in this case, the blue map, blue channel rather. Go there, set everything to blue, 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 back up, max loads itself. And now you'll notice that some parts are shinier than others once it actually loads. Gloss also takes forever. There we go. See, now instead of this weird thing, the cross piece is shinier, the gloves are shinier. You'll notice if I do this. And yeah. Also, as another thing, for the specular level, you want to actually set this down a little to 50. It makes it, for some reason, I noticed that specular levels on the Halo 4 models get extremely high for no reason. So setting it down to 50 ends up making it look a lot nicer. Right. So at 1 point color change, this is actually pretty simple. You go here, go to multiply. Once again, instead of going to the color correction, you want to go to mix. You swap, and then go to mix amount, color correction, pick your control map. Now, image alpha, over here, it has to be set, the alpha source actually has to be set to image alpha, otherwise this will get really messy. And mono channel output also has to be set to alpha. Now, here, you want to set this to alpha inverse, if I'm not mistaken. I actually have to check this. I haven't done this in a little while. And then come back here, another color correction map, bitmap, control map. Again, make sure that this is set to alpha and image alpha. And this, instead of set to alpha inverse, just set to regular alpha for all 3 channels. 4 channels, rather. Now, you'll notice how every part that was white before actually just got even more white. So let's pick one random color. In this case, I'm going to pick... Let's pick light green. Oh, that's not... I don't like that color too much. But you see how instead of changing the entire bitmap, the entire model's coloring, it's only changing specific parts. So let's pick red. Red actually looks pretty nice, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, vibrant red. You could also mess with what it changes in, so normal gets you weird results, but oh hey, it's actually not that bad. And overlay does some weird things as well. Yeah, overlay ends up messing things up, but I found out multiply usually ends up being good. Multiply or color, actually. Color sometimes does it nicely as well. Looks like they're the same at this point. So that's just 1 point color correction. I mean, color change. I bet. So let's pick. I don't know. Let's see. What's the torso like? I forgot what the colors are. Let's pick with the torso. Once again, composite. I'm gonna set this to color correction. Find your bitmap. Torso's on the bottom. So torso control. Let's back up. Okay, this is good. Now let's set the specular level, which at this point I'm just gonna speed through this real quick so I can stop, not waste time. Whoops, messed up. Alright. Let's wait for this to load. And once it does, I'll begin on the next part of just setting this up. Alright, there we go. Alright, so like before, I'm going to set this to multiply, mix, swap. Mix amount is a color correction map, which is the control map. Set everything to alpha inverse. And double check that alpha and alpha are set. I think I should copy this color correction map, paste it over here. Instead of alpha inverse, just alpha. And I can actually go back, copy this red color from the TechSuit mix, and it won't overwrite my bitmap copy. So go back to torso, composite, mix, and paste color 1. And ta-da! You'll notice how actually though there are a few areas, namely these stripes areas, which don't actually have the same amount of color change. That's because Halo 4 also has stripes and stuff for random things. Now, however, we get to go on to 2-point color change, which is a little bit more complicated, and it's also a little bit more taxing on your 3ds Max memory. But it also reduces file size, as opposed to if you were to say do it in Photoshop separating the channels. At least you can duplicate the channel. Let me actually put it up top. If I'm not mistaken, I can rename these things, but I don't remember how to. So anyways, go back into here, and go back into color correction. Instead of having alpha inverse here, you just want to set these to alpha for all of them. And then go to this map and set these all to alpha inverse. Back up, and let's pick a different color. Oh, what the heck just happened? That was weird. So this should be a mix. There we go. Color correction. Alpha. Okay, so let's say light blue. Sure, blue works. Instead of multiply, I actually set these to normal. It actually looks a lot nicer, shinier. And now it actually set those other areas to the blue color. And you can actually copy this entire format for the rest of the torso, well, the rest of the model, and you'll end up having really nice looking, what's it called? Color change. It doesn't look bad, it's actually pretty decent. You can also mess around once again with these, say, color. I think the color actually saturates it a little bit more. Soft light. Actually, where's hard light? Soft light seems to look nice too. Hard light. Linear burn. Just any of these random, well, not random, any of these set of colors, and that really should just set you up so that you can set these two-point color change maps with ease. And that's it, actually. So I'll see you guys next time.